Sure. The Treaty of Lodi, 1545. Cool.
Yeah, where do you think Deathlace comes from?
Oh no, it all makes so much fun. We were just talking about how Magic basically started in 1455, where the Treaty of Lodi had Francisco Sforza form a triple alliance between the Duchy of Milan, the Republic of Florence, and the Kingdom of Naples. And yeah, Callum, you're pretty sure, right? This is where
absolutely.
the origins of Magic can be traced.
You took the
back
words
to.
right out of my mouth. Like, you're definitely not reading off Wikipedia. We just know this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just happen to know that on April 9th, right? That's what they call it. Guys, this is amazing. By the way, I just came back from my car mechanic, like the new car mechanic, and the old one actually tried to rip me off. The old one suggested that I pay 800 euros for the replacement of my ABS system in my car. And we were like, hashtag second opinion. And the other guy I went to just today, he flipped open the front of the car, and it didn't take him 30 seconds to fix the problem. And he was like, yeah, this is just like a technical term, whatever. And he literally, like 30 seconds, he fixed it. Like, he didn't even charge me. And the other guy was like, the other guy was like 800 euros. Yeah, like, just like give me 2 Doolans or something and I'll make it work.
Dude, that's insane. I mean, that's whenever you build a deck, that's always why you ask 2 people, right? Because like the one can give you probably like a lot of shitty tips.
I'm not even sure if the other guy was like generally trying to rip me off or whether he was just like stupid. Like,
okay, out of me and Julian, which one is who?
Dude, like you would be the guy who definitely rips me off. So
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, there's a lot of people in Magic who will probably like tell you like every time, and I don't even want to call anyone out specifically, but I just saw this like the other week on Discord where people were like, okay, so our matchup against this and this is like really good. I'm like, are you sure? Like,
yeah.
Especially like in Legacy, like which matchups are there really that are like really good? Like I think people have like such varying standards to what those terms mean. Like when I say really good, I feel like 60-40, like 65 or 35 is insanely good.
Oh yeah, dude.
60 is very high for me.
Yeah. And then there's like people who mean like, oh no, like I've never lost to this matchup. Like, oh yeah, you played it like what, twice? Yeah, sure. Against like your stupid 8-year-old brother who can't even like hold the cards properly. Yeah. I guess that's an environment.
Dude, that's a problem, right? Because like everyone, whenever they talk about their own deck, like their deck doesn't have any bad matchups. That's a problem. So you have like a room of like 400 players plus, and they all have a deck that only has good matchups. And I'm like, well, that's really cool and all. Like, and you are probably pretty decent at selling your deck to me, but
and then they got pretty unlucky in the main tournament they're prepping for.
Oh,
yeah,
dude, yeah.
Imagine if you play in the tournament where everybody's favored and you go 1-6. Like, can you imagine how bad you must be?
But jokes aside, the beauty of this stuff is like you can get like crazy high win rates with decks that aren't being teched for. Not to shit talk the deck too much, but with Painter, when I was working on it like loads, I think I beat D&T like 20 matches in a row. And then they started putting Emrakul in their sideboard, and I started to lose tons. So, and then it was just like a lot closer, basically. So
it's so rude.
I know, very, very rude. So, I mean, it's just fair play to them. Like, it's good innovation. So if you're winning a matchup tons, if they then realize that it's a really bad matchup, then they can tech for it and stuff, and you're already teched. If you're
I also think, especially for example, that specific tech of Emrakul, I think that works a lot better in decks that have like either a combo mechanic to it or like some kind of quick clock. I think it works worse for control decks because the games naturally go very long, so they either might even draw it or like give us enough time to set up our way around Emrakul.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But like for example, like Red-White Initiative, when they have Emrakul, I just want to throw my deck against the wall because that's sometimes the combo is the fastest way that you have, and everything else wouldn't work.
You need a way to like D&T is a deck that can actually beat Painter's fair plan.
Yeah,
because they just have so much removal. So again, it just stops them getting punked out by a fast combo. So yeah, but anyway, that was just like a kind of anecdote of where it can come up, be like, oh yeah, I have a 100% win rate over 20 matches, and then it actually is not realistic because they have ways to fight back.
Well, you know, like I don't understand why they put Emrakul in the deck. Like they could also play Kozilek instead, because that has like a way higher chance to get wild in. You know.
I mean, yeah, but also I've seen like someone cast Show and Tell and then a screenshot with D&T with Emrakul in their hand.
Oh my goodness, dude!
So
yeah, honestly, I think it's between Emrakul and Gaia's Blessing, because Blessing can actually be cast. But every time like you cast Blessing, you feel so bad because you know that like your guard is down now. Like,
oh, dude, that's
no
the
second
thing.
Blessing.
Dude, you never cast that card. Like, even if you draw it, you just, like, dude, whenever I play a green deck, which doesn't come up very often, but sometimes, and, like, I draw that Guy's Blessing, dude, I better keep my mouth shut.
But the thing is, it's also graveyard hate, right?
Yeah, kind of, right?
Which can do something against Painter at times, especially if you like activate Engineer, then you can actually get like a 2-for-1. Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Like, you don't randomly like do it, because then the opponent is like, okay. Yeah, and you see, and this is where you get them with the second blessing. This is the next level. Yeah. So, hello and welcome everybody to Everyday Channel number 145, your favorite, most deceptively named bi-weekly legacy podcast. If you want to support the running of the show directly, you can support us on patreon.com/everydaychannel. By the way, guys, we never introduce ourselves, so if we ever get new viewers, they're like, viewers, I guess listeners, they never know who we are. So my name is Julian Knapp. I'm here with Kaiser Vatari and Callum Smith from Berlin and London. And, well, I'm technically in Munich, kinda. Yeah, let's count that. So maybe we can actually stick to that. Also, something I would love to stick to that I'm also very bad at. So I made like a really big orange box with a black border around it that says, we're going to talk about these 3 topics. And today we're going to first of all talk about our experience at 4 Seasons and the European Legacy Masters in Bologna the other week. We're going to take a look at the results there as well, especially Beanstalk and Daze'd the Queen. Did they live up to the hype? Then there's a couple of new cool legacy decks that we want to touch on. Not really new, right? But that are creeping back into the format. And then lastly, a very, very quick look at some of the online tournaments that have happened, because especially one of those decks literally caught my eye 2 minutes before we started the cast, so I just put in a screenshot, and we're gonna go over that. So, guys, does that sound cool?
That sounds cool, except that you said Daze'd the Queen. I think, like,
how many decklist errors are gonna be made because of that?
Literally everyone says Daze'd the Queen, and it's the wrong card, man. It does nearly the same thing, though.
The thing is, like, how often does the word besiege come up, like, ever?
I use it all the time.
Yeah, everyday speak?
Every day,
At work.
You're such a normie. What the
like
hell?
You go to McDonald's and, I besiege that.
I beseech the Big Mac.
Okay, cool. Guys, so before we jump into all of that, a quick reminder that the new Everyday Journal website is going to come up, which means we are switching to a different RSS feed. For 90% of you guys, no needs to change anything, but if during the next couple of weeks, maybe in a month from now, you still haven't gotten a new episode, then just check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/eternalmtg, instagram.com/eternalmtg, and also the new website, everyday-eternal.com, which is going to go live sometime during this month.
Julian's been working on this since before he was born, so everyone better enjoy it.
Yeah, it's actually true. My parents are working on this. They literally only had me so I can continue the work.
They handed over the blueprints.
Yeah, it goes back to the Treaty of Trieste or whatever we talked about. Yeah,
40 something. Exactly.
Yeah, 1545, and then also like the end of the 100-year war in like 1337.
The Treaty.
Yeah, this is why we're all here, and it's gonna come out, and I'm super excited for it. So check us out. If you somehow don't receive new episodes, you will probably most likely just get them, and yeah, also check out the website once it's gonna be live. We're gonna notify you on X, right? Not on Twitter. Like, we are X gamers now. Oh my God.
Welcome to the future.
Cool, guys. Very quickly, have you guys actually tried Lorcana? I just played it the other week.
Me personally, no. I have no interest in it, really. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not into Disney or cartoons or any of that kind of stuff, so there's no like interest there, and I don't really need another game, so I've kind of happily brushed past it and just ignoring it.
What about UK?
I'm like with the other 90% of all the listeners, I don't even know what Lorcana is.
I didn't know until I looked into the rules. Like, basically my best friend bought the starter decks, and we casually gamed the other day, and it's so funny because it feels like almost like a carbon copy of Magic, and you removed all the complexities. You can't do it kind of reminds me of like what they did in Hearthstone, even though I never played that.
So actually, on this note, so yesterday we had London Legacy Monthly, and Francois, who's one of the heads of Axiom Now, came to swing by and see how things are going. And he said a lot of the Axiom Now, like, good Magic players were talking to him and playing it the other day, and they all thought it's better than Magic. Like, mechanically, it plays better. So he was trying to pique my interest in it and see how things are going, and they're going to do some like big nationals at some point, I believe. But apparently it's good. I just don't have the interest in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I want to say it is good in the sense that the gameplay is very smooth. The rules are super easy to understand, but I feel like it's actually surprisingly deep. It's kind of hard to explain until you've played it. So I would very much recommend to just if anybody wants to just play it as a casual game, even though apparently prices are going crazy. I guess the closest I could describe it as is it's like Magic that's a little bit more like chess. Of course, you still have the big variants, but your turns are somewhat scripted. Yeah, I guess if none of you ever played it, I guess there's no point in discussing it further. I played an aggressive deck, and I'm actually going to play in a tournament, I think 1.5 or 2 weeks from now, something like that. And yeah, we're going to see whether I get to beat up some children.
We'll come back and we'll hear about Julian beating up children then. Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. If you tuned in right at this point, this is what I'm going to do.
You're so going to get there, and there's going to be like lots of very serious older adults, and they're going to absolutely destroy you.
Yeah, they're going to have all these pimped out decks. You know the most expensive card on card market for Lorcana? Can you guess how much it is? Like the game literally released a couple of weeks ago.
I did see like all the hype when it was announced and stuff, so I'm sure it's something stupid.
2,500.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah,
like,
some
those
kind
cards?
of foil.
Really? I
mean,
mean,
Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy, foil, something like that. Mickey Mouse, Sorcerer, whatever.
I was gonna say, like, it better be the One Ring or something like that. Like
the one Mickey.
The one mouse, yeah.
Yeah.
One mouse to rule them all. Cool.
Oh,
guys, now with Lorcana all the way, we went to Bologna once again. This is the third time we went to what has kind of become the legacy capital of Europe, right? I think we had like Annecy was the magic capital, then Milan for a very long time. There's just like so many great places, and Bologna basically has been carrying the torch onwards for a couple of years now. So
I'm
always excited to go there.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Dude. Like it was the very first time where I didn't have to look up Google Maps every single time when I had to go somewhere. Like I did go to the hotel from the airport without using Google Maps, and like I was like, dude, this is my hometown now.
Didn't you take a taxi or something?
I did, yeah. But so I told the taxi
I
driver
just get taxis
where
everywhere.
Well, I didn't look up anything on Google Maps, dude. That's just what I said.
So you just told the taxi take me to Relay Spilaria. This is the first time I know the hotel name by heart.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, that's
cool.
not too bad.
So yeah, we were there for basically 3.5 days. All of us arrived on Thursday at the hotel. Then we had a couple of you guys weren't involved with that. Tom the Decker of the ELM and I, we tried recording some pre-recorded content. But basically all the equipment that Tom had brought failed on us. But we made the best of it. We ended up not using it because the sound quality was too bad. But I think this time, especially for you, Kai, it was very different, right? We played the team event on Friday, and I guess we're going to get into that very quickly. But other than that, you didn't really play any, well, I guess, sanctioned Magic. You still play a lot of Magic.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for guys who didn't follow the Twitter maybe or whatever.
Your exes.
I'm sorry, dude. I just keep saying Twitter. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, Ian called me the other day. He wasn't happy about us using Twitter still. Like it's all exes.
We're sorry, Elon, if you're listening. I didn't play any events on Saturday, on both Saturday and Sunday. So for the very first time, I did my Sawatarik's booth at the Four Seasons event, and gosh, it was a big success. Not only for me as the person who was behind the booth, but also for a lot of players who constantly came over, got their tokens signed or altered or whatever. And 30 challengers who, came to the booth and challenged me in Legacy, in Modern. There was even Raphael who challenged me in Vintage. That was pretty crazy because he also acquired a second Vintage deck from me because I didn't have my Vintage deck ready. And yeah, I played a lot of Magic, painted a lot, had a lot of nice conversations and got to connect with a lot of people. So I did everything I wanted of this weekend, but the only thing that was missing was playing in a competitive 10-round tournament.
Oh, so playing with us wasn't competitive.
I was going to say. Didn't you actually play Legacy? Like, you even got the Legacy seat, right?
Oh, dude, that was the best thing. Like, when I looked at the event, I was like, because for everyone who doesn't know, the three of us, like, we always team up together for the team event. So that's the one event I will never ever skip. So you have my word on that.
Contractually obligated is the word you're looking for.
Oh yes, it's almost part of the podcast almost.
Callum's like almost.
Excuse me.
But we have a little twist here for everyone who doesn't know that is that like we always rotate formats. So like this time Vintage was
Julian
was the Vintage guy.
I attempted Vintage, yeah.
Yeah. Callum
had a great time.
The Modern part, and I did the Legacy part. And this was the first time where we did the full circle, because I think we started off with Callum as the Legacy seed, Julian as the Modern seed, and I was the Vintage seed.
Like a year from now, right?
Yeah, pretty much, I think.
Almost a year from now.
It must have been like December.
It was the last ELM, because I remember I played Initiative, and then I lent the deck to Julian.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
that was last December.
Yeah.
So, like, looking back at this, like, guys, what do you think? Like, what was your favorite constellation so far?
So from my side, I didn't really enjoy Modern too. Actually, I don't even remember what I played in Modern. Holy shit, I don't remember what I played in Modern the first time around.
Did you play Murktide?
Was it Murktide?
You did, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I learned that Counter-Strike was legal in the front.
Oh, God
Yes.
damn it, dude.
I remember that. So yeah, for me, I mean, I did by far the best out of the 3 constellations that we had in Legacy, so I was very
You
happy
carried us
about
that
that.
time.
And I think Kai, you also do really well in Vintage, right? You played Doomsday in Vintage.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
the other way around.
Yeah.
Vintage, no, Doomsday and Vintage. And then it's basically between Callum and me who's the better Modern player. And well, I guess at least Callum, you think you had the far better result. I think I went 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah, I went 3-2 and then didn't finish the draw.
Oh, well, okay, so we basically get the very same Modern result.
But I want to say, I think I actually had the most fun playing this Modern deck out of all the 3.
I mean, we were making fun of like your choices in Modern, like the decks you fancy.
You were.
there,
You made
but-
fun of me a lot.
Yeah, very much so. And I don't regret it, but
Yeah,
I
fun.
how would you put that? I was very impressed by the deck you played. So can you give us like a quick, well, not primer? Like
Yeah, well,
quick
so I
look at what you
played Urza Thopter Sword. The 75 was literally taken 75 from Robert Graves, who went 7-2-ish, something like that, at the last Pro Tour Lord of the Rings. And I absolutely adore Thopter Sword. I love Urza, and I've tried to combine them in Legacy. It's never really worked. And whenever I played it in Modern, it's always been like straight blue-white shells with Stoneforge and Esper Sentinel, and it never really feels very good. But then I saw this do well at the last PT, and I tried it online a bit, and I just fell in love. It's got some incredibly cool play patterns, and then you just it has a lot of interactions. You play this kind of mid-range deck, and then you can just combo people out of nowhere. But I actually didn't combo a single time during the tournament. I had a few spots where, like, if I drew a land, I would get it, but I just won with fair Thopter Swords quite a lot, which is just really sweet, really, really cool.
It's actually, I didn't even realize this at the beginning, but because you've got Ursa in there, you can actually go infinite, right? You can even make like infinite mana, I believe.
Yeah, so the
and
combo
activate
is
it.
with Thopter Foundry in play and Sword of the Meek and an Urza in play, you can tap the Sword of the Meek for a blue mana, use that blue mana to sack the sword to the Thopter Foundry. The Thopter Foundry makes a 1/1, gains you a life, and then your sword comes back and equips to the token, and you repeat that process. You get infinite Thopters. Those Thopters all can tap for a blue mana with Urza. You gain infinite life, and then so you have infinite mana as well because they all tap for mana with Urza, and then you can use Urza's ability, 5 mana, shuffle your library, exile a top card, Temporal Aperture I think it is, and then you can cast it without casting its mana cost. So essentially, you make infinite tokens, you gain infinite life, and then you can play your whole deck, and in there you have like Shadow Spear to make an infinite construct token. You play a 1 ring, so you have protection from everything until your next turn. So you should win every game there. So you kind of just go. A lot of decks can't even beat infinite Thopters and life.
Infinite
so.
life, I guess.
Yeah, like it doesn't
Like,
really matter.
What even
yeah.
beats infinite life? I guess Oracle out of Breach.
Breach? Yeah.
It's the only thing, and you probably have like many ways to fight over that if it really comes.
Yeah,
to
you would play your deck until you find some like KY Mites and stuff, and leave up KY Mites Exile Saga.
So you went like 2-3 and then didn't finish one match, right? That's what
Yeah,
you said?
3-2. 3-2. I lost to can't remember, but I beat Tron and then I drew against Tron. Those are the ones which was good to win. I can't remember what I lost to now. I know I lost to Creativity. I felt a bit unlucky in one of the games there at the end, but my opponent
Yeah, the
played...
matchup was like really good, right? I hear.
I don't really know. I'd played 2 leagues with this deck before, but hey, I had a great time. Really, really fun to just like hang out with you guys as well. And the team tournament is always way more like chatty, casual, and fun. Like all the players are always there just to have a good time, and way more relaxed than the main events. So if you ever go to 4 Seasons, find some friends and just don't take it too seriously. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, and it's also really easy to play in, right? Because you get proxies for all the,
fully proxies
or rather
allowed.
you bring your own proxies, so like you don't have to worry about anything. I was very lucky. I got to not only borrow most of the deck from Tom the Decker, who also offered to give me power, but actually I have my proxy power, so I was like, I feel much safer doing it this way. But he also gave me the deck list. He gave me an Esper Tinker deck list, which I think originally came from Mark Tobias, and yeah, I should have. I don't know, like I'm not deep enough into Vintage to have really a proper educated opinion on this, but Justin Gennari told me, dude, you just gotta play something that beats Wide Initiative. Yeah, I did not.
Wide Initiative was everywhere, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played 2 Swords to Plowshares. Like, this is my plan. I got destroyed by that stupid Archon. Archon of Emeria's Reach. I think I showed you guys some of my opening hands, and they were like turn 1 Vault Key or something, or turn 2 Tinker with double force or whatever. And those fuckers, seriously, they go like, Kevin on whatever bird that is, and mana, play that. And I'm like, okay, land, go. Get wastelanded, GG. It's like, oh, okay, thank you very much.
It's crazy. Like, it's not even absurd to force a will a Mox, for example.
Dude, I thought about this. Like, at that point, I learned I will, like, probably, I mean, that's just a vintage heuristic, maybe even, that a lot of hands make you maybe even force of will a Black Lotus, if not even a Mox. Yeah, it's just so crazy.
Right.
But yeah, I got destroyed by that deck. I think I went like 1-5. I don't even know. I want to say like 1-4-1 or something, but I think I actually went 1-5.
Kai, we're safe. Julian has the worst record so far. We're good.
Was
Kai
that
was
really
actually
the worst?
insanely good.
That's got to be the worst out of us so far.
Oh.
I mean, you just had like a rough deck into the field, but
But I
Yeah.
probably also didn't play it very well.
I think the opening hands were good. Like, you showed me a few of them. Like, almost all your opening hands, or most of them, had like a force will plus pitch, and like and they wanted tutor, some mana. Like those hands were not bad. It's just, I don't know. I like next time we better play 8 Swords of Plowshares main deck. Maybe
not
like
12.
a
Mode.
balance. Or
I was
something.
actually talking like I want to play 4 copies of Mode,
Gloomstorm
and then I
people.
still lose to the Archon, I guess.
Yeah. And they just hardcast a Chancellor of the Annex.
By the way, I made a note on my phone. There was something I wanted to talk about. Where's my phone?
Oh, you also still lose to the Undercity.
Oh, don't. That's not. By the way, Kai, you. Once again, I want to emphasize this. Did you go like 5-1 with Doomsday or something?
I think something like that. I won a lot of games in Legacy, but I was also the only person at the team
Winning
event
games?
where like I knew my deck, right? Like the 2 of you guys basically played like some nonsense stuff. Like
Yeah,
a
I want to
deck-
say like I played like 1 league with this where I went I think 4-1, but that doesn't really tell you much. I also like leading up to 4 seasons this time I barely had any time to do any kind of like competitive preparation because as most of you or a lot of you might know, today is my last day at my job. Like literally today, my last 4 hours, I only had half day. After 3,784 days, this was the last day working for the hotel in Kenya. I will still stay true to Kenya, to the whole like of East Africa.
Hooray.
But starting in
Oh,
October,
dude.
there's new adventures coming up. It's honestly,
Dude,
this-
congrats.
thank you. I still can't like fully believe that this is actually happening. Totally going out on a complete different tangent. I received so many messages, not only from within my company, but also from all our partner companies. They even like sent it to my private email address and everything. They were like, "Dude, you're so amazing to work with," which is like crazy. Like, am I? And I think the most moving one was one of my colleagues told me, "I learned so much from you," and I was like, "Holy shit! Like that's possible? Like this is really this is a thought that never crossed my mind in the first place that somebody could learn something from me." Which is kind of funny, right? Because I made so many elves videos and everybody's like, "Oh, I learned so much from you." But yeah, but in like a work environment, holy shit. But I learned so much from Kai. Kai, tell us the story of why I looked over to your match during the team trios as I see you dazing your own Doomsday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, were you trying to sabotage like our whole endeavor?
Oh yeah, no, that was one of the cooler plays I think I've made this year. So I think we were playing against Marcus' team. Yeah, so I was playing against Marcus Ewald.
This was the easiest match we played all weekend as well by far.
By far, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Who was Marcus's team, just to let everyone know?
I honestly don't remember much.
It was Marcus Evold on Legacy. He was playing Jeskai Control. Sam Dams, usually
yeah,
playing Infect.
Sam.
He was on Tron. So I got Sam. And then we had Johan Sturs on Vintage, who was playing White Initiative.
destroying me, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Cool.
That's a pattern.
Tough opponents.
Yeah,
And like
easy.
especially like Marcus. Like Marcus played a Jeskai control deck, and maybe you guys know from the a few episodes back, his own take on Jeskai control, which has Ursa Saga, Spell Pierce, bunch of Planeswalkers, a really low land count as far as I remember, about like 18 or 19, I think. Like super
It might
low.
be even lower now with Lorien revealed. We probably placed like 5.
Might be, yeah.
4 as a Sagas in one island.
All you need.
And I think also like a lot of different like toolbox cards for Saga already in the main deck. I think there was like a Soga Lantern already in the main deck, and like a Shadow Sphere and a Pithing Needle, stuff like that, right? So I was not really that terrified of his deck. but more of Marcus himself, because like, dude, he's like crazy good at Magic, and we had a pretty complicated game one already where things went like really like back and forth, and he made like a few constructs and pressure my life total, and I really had to like accumulate a lot of counter spell. I think there was a point where I had like triple counter backup for my Doomsday, but my very last turn I lacked mana for the Doomsday combo to fully go off until like Thassa's Oracle, because I couldn't really pass, and Marcus had like double constructs. And there was a pretty cool play where I had triple Underground Sea, and I just cast, I think, a Ponder or something, like looking for the last missing piece to get me there. And so I had 2 Underground Seas left, and the only ritual I had in my hand to power out a Doomsday was a Cabal ritual, which was, which was Threshold at 2, but that would eat up all my blue mana. So I cast my Cabal ritual, makes 5 mana, and then I did cast my Doomsday, and I kept control basically. I hold control. Kept priority, and I dazed my own Doomsday, picking up a tapped Underground Sea back to my hand. And yeah, Marcus let that one resolve.
And you forgot to pay for the days.
I think. Oh yeah,
that would be a Magic Online thing, right?
And that was the game.
Yeah. And then you won game 2 and 3.
No, jokes aside. So yeah, it's like I paid for it, and basically replayed my Underground Sea and went off with like I think it was like a Brainstorm pile or something like that. But it doesn't come up very often where you daze your own spell. But like replaying your Underground Sea was absolute key there.
I love that you saw that line. Like, I usually call that the Lotus Days turns into Lotus Battle line, but I've usually only ever seen it in other decks. I've never seen it done in Doomsday.
Yeah, because Cabal Ritual's like not that common. It's 1 or 2 of sometimes. So you just don't see a thresholded 1 into Doomsday that often either, because it's often just like a 2-mana Dark Ritual. But
yeah, dude, exactly. There are like a few cool things about Cabal Ritual, like. For instance, if you cast Cabal Ritual, you have 5 black mana, which is exactly Doomsday mana into Night's Whisper mana, for example.
Ooh. Oh, you played 2 copies of Night's Whisper as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I played 2 copies of Night's Whisper. I still, like, because everyone plays Bowmaster, so I want to make it.
You want to take more damage,
dude. I just want to be like extra painful. Yeah.
Doomsday players just love, doing damage themselves.
Yeah, you can like pay 2 mana and a Fire Blast yourself. Awesome.
Have you considered Infernal Contract?
I did play a copy of that card, I think not too long ago.
Have you ever Cabal Ritualed out a Street Wraith?
Oh yeah, a few times. The one comment about Infernal Contract though, because it is a freaking badass card, and everyone who plays black loves that card. Like draw 4 is such a mighty spell. However, in practice, if you cast a draw 4 in almost any deck, you end up going to discard step. So it's not really a draw 4. It's more like a really bad faithless looting,
Draw 4, discard 1.
Oh yeah.
Which is better, Infernal Contract or Cruel Bargain?
Cruel Bargain.
Yeah,
by far.
choice.
It's a portal card. Also, what's so cool is that you can personal tutor for Cruel Bargain. So get a potent tutor for portal. Yeah, for a portal tutor. Oh, God damn it. for a portal business spell, which I think is like one of the coolest things.
So you could get Cruel Bargain or Doomsday, but you get Cruel Bargain for sure.
Sometimes you do. Honestly, sometimes you do. There was a scenario once where I played against Reanimator, Black-Red Reanimator, and we completely shredded our hands. They ended up having like a Gristlebrand or something like that in the graveyard, and I had literally almost no cards in my hand. I used up most of my counters, and they also had like close to 0 cards in their hand. And I top decked a personal tutor, and I was like, okay, well, I could technically get a Doomsday, cast the next turn, and then hopefully win the turn after. But I was like, dude, I kind of want to go for that draw 4 now that I'm almost hellbent. So I got that draw 4 instead, and that draw 4 gave me Force of Will, Force of Negation, Doomsday, and Daze. And I'm like, what the actual hell?
Dude? Like quadruple
Alright, that card's
tutor, easy.
Dude, that was like insane.
Did you cast like Personal Tutor
like, okay.
and then 4 Vamps underneath it?
Say again?
It's like 4 Vamps underneath your Personal Tutor.
Oh, dude, 100%. I was like, okay, well, it could have also been like, I don't know, 4 Underground Seas, but these 4 cards were like, I don't know where they came from, but they were good.
Have you ever considered
Fair
playing Meditate for that kind of purpose? I mean, the drawback is pretty severe.
Yeah, the drawback is that you
What
can't
drawback?
ritual it out, right?
Oh yeah, see.
And wait, hold on. And it gets
When?
blasted, and it literally is like in any it's worse than the Black Draw Force by.
But there's Erta in the artwork, and Erta is cool.
Erta is cool, yeah. I do like Erta.
I guess. Yeah, no, seriously. Like I think you sometimes deviate from Doomsday, but whenever I see you playing Doomsday, you're just a machine. Seriously, I mean, there's a reason that I think when a couple of months ago they released the highest win percentage among legacy players in Magic Online, you were in the top 10, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, but that was also only me playing Doomsday, I think.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like when you play Doomsday, it's just perfect. The world is in order.
Yeah, that deck it's my baby. It's my baby. And you know, you can play as much scam as you want. Doesn't matter. It will not stop me. So there's that.
Cool. So yeah, as we mentioned for Saturday and Sunday, you were manning your booth, and I want to say once again, like hanging out at your booth is just one of the greatest, chillest things. I love doing that between rounds, just coming over, seeing what's going down there. Callum and I both challenged you, right? As you mentioned, you have the thing where you pay €10 and then we can play our best of one against you in the format of our choice. I think we both challenged you in Legacy. I played against your what's it called, like Cradle Control Fiend Artisan thingy, and I gave you so much respect during the entire game. I was like, oh, he's got this line, he's got that line, and then at some point I think I pyroblasted your Cradle in draw step because I just barely remember that you could Fiend Artisan for Allosaurus Shepherd and kill me.
Oh,
but then afterwards you were like, okay, yeah, your play was very weird and you gave me way too much credit. I don't even have Allosaurus Shepherd. I was like, okay, come on.
but that's the thing about like a good player, right? If you feel so confident in like against like most of their cards, then you can start thinking about like the kind of like corner case scenarios, right? Like where, okay, well, if that player really has a one of whatever card it is in their hand, then like, you know, what are my outs to beat that type of scenario, right?
Yeah. It was just like so funny to me because I was trying to play around so many things and I dragged it out for like 2 or 3 more turns before I eventually won. And I felt like, yeah, if I had just like, what do you call it? Like maybe Boo Boo Gagat, my painter deck, I would have just like outright taken the win.
Oh, I mean, dude, that's literally that meme, right? Where it goes like, you're like right in the middle where like you all kind of overthink everything, and then, like, yeah.
I
guess I lose.
What do you do if he has everything? I'd be happy to lose to the person who has everything.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I lost to both my co-hosts very quickly, actually. To Callum very quickly. I don't even remember that game. It was so blazing fast.
It was actually pretty unreal. You cast so many cantrips and just never found a Doomsday.
Oh shit! Yeah, there were. It was early in the morning. You were my first
I was
opponent.
The first Kai Sautari booth customer.
I took an amazing picture of Callum actually challenging, like hitting that button with the fiercest face in the world. Just, I'm gonna cheer this guy like a new one.
Yeah, gotta say, like the Doomsday. It was early morning. They were a little shy, maybe. You know, a little sleepy.
Yeah, I think at some point you had so many challenges, you literally had to shut down the challenges, right? You literally put away the button.
I had to, yeah. So on a quick note, I think the most people who challenged me at the booth were people who dropped early at the Magic event, be it like Modern or Legacy. Maybe they went like 2-2 drop or 0-3 drop or whatever it is, you know, had to wait for their friends anyway. And so that they came to my booth and they had a good time. Honestly, I think even when they lost against me, they were not like salty or anything. They were like super happy that they...
On the outside.
Oh, yeah, well, they're probably like dying inside. You know? Like,
oh my god, I lost to describe
Thanks, Kai, for this really nice game.
You should offer like a rebound. Wanna challenge me again, like €8, not 10 or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
You'd be playing all. Yeah. But seriously, like the quote unquote value, also of just like the good hangouts and everything is also great. I think I got 5 tokens or something altogether through winning for 10. Which is like basically €2 per token, which is half price or something like that.
pretty much. I mean, like I want to make it as easy and as chill as possible for people to approach that booth because you know, like after all, it's what makes paper magic so special, right? Is to, you know, just sit down and have like a really nice conversation between players, really, and talk about magic and stuff like that.
I'm trying to remember. I was talking to you about some kind of token you must make, and somebody told me, and I was like, oh my god, how did I never think about this? Basically, the most common token that we use in Legacy right now.
Yeah, copy token, I think, is what.
Yeah, we talked about
right?
copy. I can't remember. People seriously hit us up on twitter.com/x.com/eternalmtg because I can't believe that I'm not remembering right now because it was so insanely obvious to me, and somebody just mentioned that. And I was like, oh my god, how did I not mention this to Kai? So literally, like in the Discord everywhere, just let us know what is the most common token that's going down in Legacy right now that Kai doesn't offer yet.
Is it a 2/2
like,
with haste and trample?
Oh, yeah, that might be.
Yes, see,
Yeah,
human knights, humans, fourth Erlingers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because you need so many.
I mean, if you buy one for everyone.
Yeah, you have to have. If you don't have the tokens, you can't use it. So.
Oh, totally. I mean, this kind of like transition very nicely into the whole like 4 seasons tournament like decks and things. But yeah, I did not think that fourth Erlingers would pick up so much in like popularity.
I pitched it to you guys. I said it's a control finisher, and you're like, it's a no.
Whoa.
Sure.
I will take credit for that. Didn't I bring actually that one up?
No, you said you don't see it.
What? Okay. See, yeah. Actually, I think you were right. I think I was talking about it in like Red White Initiative, and I wasn't sure about control. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because like it's probably not even crazy to say that there are more fourth Erlingers in Legacy than the One Ring.
Right? Definitely. The card is better than I expected as well. I thought it would be like a one-off as a control finisher, and I thought it'd be very good there, but like not their primary win condition. We do see it one-off quite often, like Niv Shmuli had 1 in his deck, and it's like the perfect finisher, but 2 is the most common, and we've seen some Pure Jescalis play 3 or 4 as well. Like, I underrated the just pure fireball mode. Like it's such a crazy card. It's so good. It's
in a way it's like
wild.
double fireball, right? You get 2 damage out of every mana you spend beyond the second one. It's
yeah. It's just also so hard to interact with. Obviously, Hydroblast is a good answer, but Pyroblast is almost always dealt with threats, and the non-pyroblastable threats are just stuff like the Wandering Emperor or whatever that you can deal with in other ways. Fourth Aelingus, you just have to stop it on the stack and not being pyroblasted. I think this is the first time Hydroblast has ever been better than Pyroblast.
It might actually be, seriously.
It is. It definitely is.
It's also so hard to do something about it. You mentioned that. I was playing I was playing Legacy main event, really nothing very noteworthy. I had like a 2-3 drop or something, like probably one of my worst first seasons I've ever played, like results-wise, but overall loved it. But I lost to one of those 4-color control decks, and they just went for it with fourth Erlingers at some point, like I want to say like turn 10 or something, and I had 2 Pyroblasts, and I was like, I can literally, like, I can't do anything. And even if they had something, they were playing like 2 copies of Veil of Summer in the main deck. I got completely out-teched, outplayed in that regard, especially when I was playing against those 4-color decks. I think we still we don't get destroyed by them, but I really have to rethink my approach. By the way, I was playing Painter. I really have to rethink my approach to that matchup. I've already done it.
I completely agree. I think Ring and fourth Linguist has probably made it a bad matchup.
It might actually be, right? And we were like basically, or you and Marcus Ewald, right? We're talking about that, maybe even playing fourth Erlingers and Painter.
Yeah.
I haven't really gone too deep on that, but I love the idea of playing like 3 in the sideboard or something.
I went off it, but I haven't tried it at all. So I went off it just because Painter is a deck that has a lot of mana sinks already, and it loses a lot of games by being mana screwed by Wastelands and stuff. So I don't really want to be in a position where I'm playing cards that are 4 or 5 mana up, and you're relying on getting to the late game and stuff. But it has potential because sometimes you just have a ton of ramp and fast mana as well. So it's hard to say. It's a sideboard card probably, but it's really found a home as a 4 of an initiative, and it's insane there, and control finisher. I feel like in many ways, and I guess we can look at the top 8 of 4 seasons, which had 403. Okay, there's 405 players. They found 2 more somewhere. Maybe next week it's 407. And it feels like they are torn between either playing 4 copies of the One Ring or going 4 copies of Beanstalk. And then I guess there's sometimes people who play both in some kind of combination. But I think those are the 2 big flavors of 4-color. Like we got Claudio Bonani playing 4 colors of 4 Beanstalk. Then we got Niv in there, Niv Shmuli playing, I want to say he's playing like 3 or 4 rings. I'm trying 3 rings, 1 fourth Aelingus.
And he's not playing any Beanstalks, right?
No. So I will say this was like the first weekend Beanstalk was legal. So I think we'll see more of it going forward. Claudio Bonani top-8'd with 4 in his deck, but then the other control decks, I was walking around the room a lot and just seeing what people were playing. I didn't see that many, but I think we'll see a ton more going forward.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit, and he seemed to really, really like the card. And to a point, by the way, where he mentioned that he's considering adding an endurance, which I guess he means to the main deck because he already has 2 copies in the sideboard. Because he said that it actually comes up that you become dangerously close to decking yourself. And I think we watched like Niv Shmooley's win and in for top 8, right? Where he also was so cool. 4 cards from decking himself with the One Ring.
Yeah, he went down to 2 or 3 cards in library. It was a 4-color mirror. They were at time. They were like 15 minutes over time. There was like 30 people standing around trying to watch and see what was going on. And it's a really tense back and forth. And I'm standing behind his opponent. And in his opponent's hand, there's like a Veil, a Pyroblast or 2 Force Invocations, another Ring, and 2 Fourth Earlings as well. And they're going back and forth. And Niv has turn 5. And they go back and forth, and they're positioning, trying to see if they can fireball each other on their last turn. Niv just gets too much life. He has like an Uro and an Omnath gaining 4 life each turn. So his opponent's just trying to stay alive on turn 5. And so finally on Niv's turn 5, he has, as I said, 2 cards left in library. His opponent's Surgical's a Hydroblast on his turn to see if he could just slam a 4th Earlingus. Niv just puts down his hand, and it's the 1 4th Earlingus, 2 Pyroblasts, 2 Veils, 2 Force of Wills, and a Force of Negation or something. And
I took a picture of that. It was looking down into the maws of hell. It's come at me.
Yes, he's looking down into the maws of hell. Exactly, well said. And then his opponent just looks at his hand, looks at Niv's hand, and then after 2 minutes of thinking concedes, which I thought saves him the trouble of going through the back and forth, which is, I thought, quite nice to save everyone time in the tournament.
What I was wondering? I thought the Surgical he was trying to thin out the library even more because he spent a lot of time looking at the graveyard. And I thought he was trying to determine what was in the library. So if he could snag 2 cards from the library and maybe he could deck him or something. But yeah, I think in the end it was just taking a look at the hand, basically.
I saw Stefan Schultz do that at a GP years ago. He was playing Lantern, and a win in he surgicaled something to deck someone out. It was crazy. So cool.
What's the best spell, Surgical?
The final thing for this match. So everyone was like, "Oh my god, that was crazy!" Blah blah. And the match slip. Niv wins 1-0 in games. Turn 5, first game.
No, it actually was the second game. At least I asked him about it later on. I think I also initially misunderstood him. He won 1-0, but they didn't write down the second game as a draw, so it was basically 1-0-1.
Oh, so Niv, because it just stayed alive, he didn't need to win with the 4th inning.
He didn't need to win. He already had it locked up as long as he doesn't lose.
Got it.
Yeah, but those 4-color games. Also, I watched. I mentioned Claudio Benani, right, playing against. Help me out. Sio Francone.
Yeah,
he also had some. Those you rarely ever see me talk like this about mid-range / control decks, but those matches were absolute slugfests. I posted one on Twitter where I think Claudio was trying to resolve a 4th Erlingas, and he had triple protection, which was barely enough because Sio Francone had 3 counterspells or Veils and everything. And yeah, Claudio just barely got there. Imagine you're sitting there with 3 counterspells in Sio Francone's hand, and you feel pretty good about it, and then you still get overcome. It's what these decks are doing right now. This is completely. It's not battle cruiser magic because you're still rather low to the ground except for 4th Erlingas, but it's insanely powerful.
Pretty close.
Yeah, that really reminds me of the old days where in the Jeskai countertop miracle mirrors where you had crazy counter wars over a Jace Mind Sculptor, for example, and then you get countertop and you just win.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, most of the time, right? But replace the Veil of Summers with Flusterstorms. I think that was
looking through this list though, there's also Jacques Samon played 5-color control with Bowmasters, and there's 3 4th Earlingus in this deck and 4 Delighted Halfling, and then Uros and 4 rings. So Halfling into ring makes it uncounterable, and this is Battlecruiser.
Yeah, this very 4 Uros as well. Yeah, you're right. Wow,
yeah, this is just Halfling into uncountable Uros and rings, and the Halfling helps pump up bigger 4ths. And then the 7 Forces main deck: 4 Force of Will, 3 Force of Negation. So it's just slam your Battlecruiser, force their Battlecruiser, and then slam another Battlecruiser.
This is the kind of deck that really should struggle very hard against Doomsday, right?
Yeah, they did. Yes, during the whole weekend, I think I beat all control decks with.
Oh my god! Look at this. Sorry, in Jack's sideboard, 2 Hydroblasts, 0 Pyroblast in his deck playing red.
Yeah, you called it, right? Blue Blast is the new Red Blast.
Yeah, without realizing.
I mean, Red Blast has basically turned into Veil of Summer, kind of.
Yeah. True.
Dude, Veil is so good.
I guess there are only this many slots you can dedicate to or cards like
Claudio just has 2 Pyroblasts. Niv has 3. Yeah, it's low. Yeah. Did you see the 7th place deck list?
I do now. Oh, that's
Sakashima the Imposter.
yeah. I was wondering that
Hello?
there were like 2 cards I wasn't like really quite sure about where to zoom in. Sakashima the Imposter, which is like the 2 colorless, 2 blue legendary creature, human rogue, 3/1, and as it comes into play, you can make it a copy of a non-legendary creature, if I remember correctly, right?
I can't
Comes into
remember.
play
I'll
as
be
a copy
honest.
of that creature, except its name is still Sakashima the Imposter. So I guess you can actually copy legends. Yeah, and for 4 mana, you can bounce it back to your hand.
Yeah, because it copies Garuda and doesn't die, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
is that
yeah
another
something
one?
like that.
Garuda players are like, shut up, you idiot.
Didn't you all play this deck at some point?
A little bit, but
For like
yeah.
a week.
This is a cool deck though.
Very
It's
cool.
like it's a Yorion. What is this?
It's like Yori and Espavile, but not like Espavile like JTL, Jeff Lynne. Like, this is just different. Like, it's got Stoneforgers and True Names and Meddling Mages and Plague Engineer. It does have Recruiters, but I don't know if there's a Soul Herder. Probably, I don't know. There's a Baron.
yeah. There's nothing like that. But,
There's a reality chip to get with your Stoneforgers.
They're also like in this list. What I like so much about this deck is that there are a lot of hate bears already in the main deck, like Meddling Mage, but also like I think 2 copies of Lavinia, which is not really that common.
Yeah,
I think
Lavinia's
in Legacy
pretty
because
good now.
Yeah, people
I've
have been
seen-
playing a
seen
lot
a
more
lot.
Lavinias, I noticed.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Like, I saw Gardock Teak, of course, that makes a lot of sense. Lavinia, I guess, also makes sense. It like stops 4th Erlingas, as far as I remember.
I guess.
Does it though? Actually, I'm not even sure. No, it doesn't.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Like, it just takes 2
Yeah.
off the mana, right?
if you know, type it in the comments, please.
There's also Urtai Resurrected. And do you guys know what that card does? I do now, but I
Oh,
looked
this
it up.
card's sweet. Yeah, it's like 2 blue and blacks, 4 mana, and it's like a 3-2 maybe
3/2.
with flash. And when it ETBs, you can either destroy a creature or counter a spell, or maybe activate an ability, and the controller of whatever you destroy or counter draws a card.
Yeah, it's basically, I think Void Slime is
Roughly.
that kind of effect, right? Actually, let me look that up.
Void Slime is just counter a spell or activate or triggered ability.
Yeah, exactly. And then you
Yeah.
get the cantrip on top of that. And the other option
Really,
is
really cool card.
destroy another target creature. Oh, yeah, or Planeswalker controls the card. Yeah, it's basically the same. You're
Yeah.
right. And it
Yeah.
has Flash. Okay.
Yeah, and bounce it with
Legendary, yeah.
Caracas. Really cool. There's 4 Caracas in this deck. Yeah, there we go.
Dude, seriously, like this deck would completely, like this deck might outplay you so hard with like all the stuff that you don't see coming, because I mean Espavile is already like hard to grasp, because like who expects the reality chip out of Stoneforge? Like, okay, get your shit, whatever, like Caldra complete, I don't care. Like, no, I'm gonna get this card advantage, and you're like, oh my god.
There's a Jide reality chip, Caldra Complete, and Batterskull. A lot of
Yeah, I
equipment.
guess it makes sense with Yorion and like all those.
But you're right, the hate bears are serious as well. So 2 Lavinia, 2 Meddling Mage, 2 Hull Breacher, Opposition Agent, Plague Engineer.
Kai, can your deck actually, can Doomsday beat Meddling Mage on Doomsday? Or rather, like game 1, Meddling Mage on Oracle?
Yeah, I mean, they better play a Swarm so my Street Raves can, just walk
You've done
over
that
them.
before, right? I've seen that.
Yeah, so the answer is no. The answer is technically no.
Practically no. Yeah.
What I think is like the cutest thing about this deck list in particular is that you can like Recruiter of the Guard for a True Name Nemesis, which I think is like so cute.
Is that your definition of cute? Like, which kind of animals do you find cute? Like I don't know, white
like,
sharks or something?
I don't even know. It's
Dude, I love black mambas. They're the cutest.
God, I guess, yeah. Like True Name is like at this point, like True Name was such a predator in the legacy format, but like now you look at it, it's just like an angry fish, man. Like, it's literally whatever.
The glory days of Jeskai Stoneblade
Oh,
crap.
God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one comment on that era though, I think like a lot of commentators, especially like on Star City games, I think like Patrick Sullivan and Cedric Phillips, like they basically mention, oh dude, I think like Legacy is we're done now, like Legacy's over. Like we have True Name Mirrors, we have Stoneforge Mystic for Vegeta, Batterskull, yada yada yada.
He had a good run.
and end of combat, there's no blocker step anymore, things like that.
To be fair, it wasn't great.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I remember we were talking about like how many blue-black decks, how many Underground Sea decks we were expecting in the top 8 of the Four Seasons main event last time. And I think some of us said 4. I think Kai said 2.
I said for ELM in my
Oh,
defense.
was it for ELM? Okay, I guess
Yeah.
we can also look at the ELM results, because in this one there's one dedicated deck, like Blue-Black Scam, played by Manuel
Yeah.
Judy. By the way, who was the only person at 7 1-on-1, I want to say, sneaking in. Everybody else was like
Yeah.
X and 1. It was like kind of cutthroat.
This is Manuel is Easy Money Marksman online, so anyone playing online will know him. He started 7-0 and then got paired down, lost, and then had to play and lost again, but still squeaked in. But he started 7-0, so that's where his breakers come from.
Oh, yeah, that's probably the only way to make it.
Yeah,
It's kind of
because I went to congratulate him when he got to 7-0. I was like, yes, you did it, well done. He's like, hold
Still
on,
need to get
things
there.
can go wrong. And everything that can go wrong went wrong, but he still snuck in. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Great.
We got to meet him at Kai's booth. Such a nice guy.
yeah, he's absolutely amazing.
So cool.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and then I guess we got the one Underground Sea Esper Wilish deck and everybody else. Like, I think that the big lesson or conclusion to draw from this is, well, I guess Lance is really good. People were already talking about that. And all these like control
Yes.
decks, like in their different flavors. I guess we'll see which one actually prevails. They are really good.
Control decks
Oh, yeah.
overperformed, I think. This is not just a haha, Italians love control. They do, but these 4-color control decks are really, really very good.
And then we got the first place, by the way. So for those who don't know,
Love
at Four
this.
Seasons, they just like award prizes for everybody in top 8. They don't play it out. But after Swiss, which is always kind of weird, right? Because the first person after Swiss is kind of the person who had to play for it until the end, whereas like others usually just draw in, so they naturally are in first place. But yeah, we got Borja Munoz playing. It's not PO, it's Forge.
Conforge.
Conforge, yeah.
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 So Boro was 7-0 into double ID. I know that.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Then he should be worse than X1s, right?
I think all the 7-0s either had to play, like all the 7-0s ID'd, and then Manuel was the only one that was paired down,
I see.
lost, and then lost again. So 702 was actually the highest placing, I believe. This is going off memory, so I'm not looking at settings.
Okay.
But Conforge, I'm such a sucker for this. It's the raw power here. Like, there's 4 Serum Visions in the deck. That's a statement. And it's just the power of this deck. It can kill turn 1.
Wait, did you just say Serum Visions?
Serum Powder, sorry.
I was like, wait,
We are the Serum
we're
Vision
going
cast,
deep
aren't
here.
we?
What, seriously, this is the first time. This is like what they called in Vintage, like espresso something. Like, this is when you played these stacks. They played Serum Powder because their power level was like through the roof, and they just need the most broken opening hands. And now we see this in Legacy.
Yeah, there's also Urza's Workshop, which is cool.
As if the London Mulligan was not.
Yeah, double mulligan. There was actually some. You guys remember when London Mulligan was introduced and people were like, "Oh, that means Serum Powder draws you 14 cards." Like, yeah, I don't think so.
So for anyone like unfamiliar, I'll give like a very quick breakdown of the deck. It's just like loads of soul lands, grim monoliths, a basalt monolith, 2 basalt monoliths even, and then like voltaic keys and manifold keys to untap your monoliths and just generate lots of mana fast. The payoffs are then 4 Khan the Great Creator and 4 Mystic Forge. Khan can obviously go and get Lattice or other kind of win conditions or the One Ring. It's got 3 One Rings as well. And there's 3 Paradox Engines. So Paradox Engine is artifact for 5 mana. Whenever you cast a spell, you untap all your non-land permanents. So it untaps all your monoliths and you just generate tons of mana. And then now you untap the ring. And once you get Paradox Engine in the ring in play, it's pretty much a deterministic like kill. You'll draw your deck, you'll play an Emrakul, and you'll attack with that and like a.
Oh, that's what the
Khan
Emrakul
can
is
go
for.
and
I was like, why are we playing this in the main deck? But yeah, you're right. Like, we need to win somehow.
I think it's also
Yeah.
like I think the shuffle effect might be legit. Like, really, the One Ring and Paradox Engine just draws your deck hilariously easily. So you need. So you sometimes can't draw your whole thing, but Khan for Lattice, or you make so much mana, Khan for Walking Ballista. There is also as sagas will become huge. So I think it's just a bit of redundancy, and it's just like probably doesn't have any interaction apart from a couple of Warping Whales and Spatial Contortion in the sideboard. So probably kind of weak to Painter. So having this win condition, which you can quite realistically cast with so much mana in this deck, just main deck for Painter as well. As if Khans and like turn 2 kills wasn't enough, but yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But looking at this deck list, this deck is crazy cold to Collector Oof or no rod.
yeah.
I mean,
Just be
you
faster.
got Saga, and that's pretty much it. A lot of times you can't even activate Saga, I guess. I guess if you have some lands.
Yeah. It is, though. And I think it's kind of fairly conscious to be like, yep, I've got 2 Warping Whales in the sideboard. I'm just going to go under you or dodge you.
I guess we also got Argenta Masticor, by the way.
I like that
It's
approach.
really cool stuff.
Yeah, I like that approach though.
Yeah.
By the way, who would have thought that between Legacy and Vintage, Urza's Saga would see more play, Urza's Workshop would see more play than Misha's Workshop? Like Misha's Workshop is basically dead in Vintage, right?
I don't know about that,
Really?
but
I thought it was like completely
yeah.
dead ever since the initiative became a thing. See, well, how much do I know about Vintage? I haven't won in 5.
I don't know. Well, you haven't put a very high bar because as a workshop, this is the first time I've seen it in Legacy.
That's true.
So. But it's cool to see. Other decks in the top 8 that we've seen, there's a lands deck, sphere lands, so 4 main deck spheres.
Yannick
and then,
Nellemann,
like the,
yeah.
Yannick,
good choice. Good choice.
And then
I think like when I took a small break to just see around the tables, I think a lot of really good players picked up lands. I think like including like Matt Brown, for example, and I think I saw a few other people like picking up lands, which like in paper you don't really see that deck very often because of Tabernacle, but like holy smokes, that deck crushes Scam, like crazy. And I don't know about the matchup against Control. I gotta be honest with you, like
I feel like Control. It depends if Control can get its mana like out. If that makes sense. So the games are probably really swingy either way. Like if Control gets its mana going and a ring going, probably just steamrolls from there. But if lands can get a quick Wasteland lock, then Control feels helpless.
Yeah, I guess the spheres also
like,
make it really hard. If you get the early spheres going, like it's such a nightmare for Control.
Right. Like I think the general like reason for this is that the Scam decks kind of take care of all the like the sneak and show decks and Doomsday and Storm and like all the it's like spell based combo decks.
Yeah.
So like Lance has like less things to worry about, right, and can just completely crush those like I don't know Dimir, Esper, what have you, Orcish Bowmaster decks. So like Orcish Bowmaster has almost close to 0 attacks against Lance.
Yeah, they're just like 2 annoying little bodies. It's not much of a clock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, an extra body you have to pay.
Yeah.
1 for the Tabernacle. So yeah, it kind of sucks.
I think last deck to mention here in 6th place is Boros Initiative.
Yeah, unfortunately they cut off the name, so we can't actually see the name here on the Four Seasons Twitter page. Maybe it's also a secret
I'll look it up because I saw it on Twitter. But this player, I'm going to try and find their name now. They lost 1 game before going 7-0 double ID.
Wait,
one game.
You mean 1 match or?
No, this player lost 1 game.
And then went 7 like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0?
Yeah.
What the
It is Ben Bellmans.
I was going to say they better have a name.
Yeah. Ben Bellmans from Belgium, I think it is. Yeah, looks like it.
I think I might have actually lost
They went 2-0 Shadow, 2-0 Shadow, 2-1 Doomsday, 2-0 Yorian Taxes, 2-0 Control, 2-0 Shadow, 2-0 Lands, ID.
This is like you play your first Legacy tournament, you're like, this game is too easy. Next, Lorcana, let's try that one.
If any deck is going to absolutely steamroll, Initiative is such a steamroll deck. Like when you run hot and play well, this deck is so powerful still as well. Which quick shout out as well to Sahar. Everyone must know Sahar by now. Sahar Mehadi. She won our LLMs yesterday playing Initiative as well. Awesome running. She crushed me in one of the early rounds.
Dude, whenever I see a report of somebody playing against Painter and the LLM, I'm like, oh, that must have been Callum, maybe.
I was playing the blue PO deck actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that what's it called? The Archon of Emeria is pretty good card.
Yeah, I bet.
And then
dude, seriously destroying everyday Eternal Hosts left and right, apparently.
Absolutely. And game 2, she saw a really, really sick line, which I didn't see, and killed me, which is sweet. But yeah, back to it. Initiative seemed really good. Like I was really low on it in theory because of the blue-black decks, griefing your big creature and then reanimating it. But in the main event, it seems like these decks were kind of pushed out.
You know what's kind of
control
cool?
Decks and lands.
Apparently, that's like a new tech that I've seen in a couple of those decks, and that's 2 copies of Eagles of the North.
Yeah, this was in Ben's deck.
It's a 3/3 bird soldier for 5 colorless and a white, flying. When Eagles of the North enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 and first strike until end of turn, and it has plane cycling.
Is that it?
That is it, right? He had the 3/3 for 6 the flyer. I mean, this is how I played Magic when I started playing. Like, I would have paid so much for that card, and it would have been a rare, of course.
It's a land that pitches to Solitude, basically, which is really good.
Oh, nice. You know, like I think, we were like all wondering about because this is the white Oliphant, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because like literally no one was talking about this card. Like, in fact, I just saw it now for the very first time. I was like, okay, well, so like all colors except white got their land cyclers. That's really nice.
I like how you say Oliphant, not Troll of Khazad-dûm. The other one.
That'd be way too basic. Yeah, I'm not a basic bitch, you know.
But like a problem with this deck had before was pitch cards like Chrome Mox can feel awkward sometimes. Solitude really, really always wants to have a pitch card, and the deck doesn't play that many white cards. It's like 4 Archons, 4 Dungeoneers, 4 Solitudes, and now 4 Thairlingers, which is just the best thing to put under a Chrome Mox, and then 2 Eagles. So, I mean, there's a lot of fast mana as always in Initiative, so you probably can cast it, but it's just a pitchable land, which is really, really good.
Yeah, the mana-wise of that deck, as you mentioned, like, has always been a little bit shaky to me, like in my experience, especially like when it comes to color requirements. And now all of a sudden, like, we can even like Cavern of Souls this into a proper land and then do something. I like that. I like that deck quite a bit.
Yeah, Cavern on Eagle, Bird, whatever it is.
By the way, Kai, you see something in the sideboard here. We got Kozilek in the sideboard, so somebody has actually attended the Savataric School of Deck Building.
Oh, he's right.
Yeah, but the problem is that this player doesn't play Ether Vial. But yeah,
but they play 10 mana.
Other than that,
Yeah.
So
Good choice.
That was it for the main event. I want to say, is there anything else, guys, that you noticed throughout the day, except for the awesome matches?
I noticed a huge diversity. There was a lot of control at the top tables. Like a lot of the control decks, like one mirrors to get in stuff. I think control really dominated the top quarter of the field. But walking around was just a lot of different decks. As we guessed, like there was a lot of Underground Sea Scam kind of style decks and control, but there was just a lot of different stuff. It was cool. Like the games seemed good. There was just good gameplay.
Yeah, there was also some really cool. Like I think we saw Inigo Viamor, like Runecore, who ran the ELM stream on Saturday perfectly. He got, I think, top 16 playing Cradle Control.
Yeah, he went 7-2.
17, you say?
7-2.
Oh, 7-2,
But he
yeah,
did top
amazing
16.
performance.
Yeah.
We also saw Peter Plank of the In Response podcast, like very close to top 8 for most of the day. I think eventually he fell short playing Painter with the White Splash. Yeah, lots of familiar faces at the top tables. Like, as is usual with these tournaments, especially for this size, like it extends way beyond just the top 8, right? Even the top 16 were a lot of times putting in the same results, close enough. And I just love basically railbirding those. I dropped after the 5th round, and I'm usually the kind of guy who like sticks through and wants to play every single round, but I just love the chill atmosphere. And I guess I keep going back to Kai's booth, like hanging out at Kai's booth and just like chit-chatting and sometimes walking around watching matches. I think I never played this little Magic, because especially on Saturday I also didn't play. We'll quickly talk about that as well in a moment. But yeah, overall, super chill.
Last quick shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Eric Santo. I think that's not quite how you pronounce it. He made top 16 with Breakfast, Turbo Breakfast. He has top 8'd ELM the last 2 times, or maybe it was just on camera against the Black Red deck. Maybe I'm getting confused. But I know he top 8'd the first ELM and then top 16 here, and he's just usually doing very well with Breakfast. So he lost a win into Claudio, which came down to like the wire as well. So watch out for this guy. He's really good.
Oh, he played that Turbo Breakfast version, right? That we see now.
Turbo Breakfast with like 3 packs of negations.
Yeah, 3 pack of negations, and I think they also play like 3 copies of Step Through, so they can really sidestep the graveyard heavy stuff.
Yeah, it was. We commentated round 6 with him. That was it. And last shout out to Marcus Evold, who top 16 with High Tide. If anyone follows me on Twitter, you will have seen me fanboying over Marcus, like posting lots of results when he was playing in ELM as well. But he went 5-2 in ELM and 7-2 in the main event with High Tide. Sorry, his new build, which is so elegant, it's just like loads of Mind's Desires, and you exile your whole deck with Mind's Desires and win with Jace Wielder Mysteries.
And that's literally the only win condition, right?
Yep, actually the only win condition. If it gets discarded, you can shuffle it back in with Time Spirals. If it gets discarded and exiled, well, then you can't win. But that's it. It's so beautiful.
When you watch the deck, I almost want to play it.
Nice. Oh yeah, I played a league when I got home. It was awesome. I went 1-4. I obviously played it really but I definitely was playing really fast and loose. And I had, when you win, it's so fun to play. I'll definitely pick it up again. It was me playing like a complete donkey, but it's so fun to play. Okay. Yeah, how about the ELM?
Yeah, the ELM, you heard about it a lot from us, right, over the last couple of weeks. That's basically the big thing, the culmination of all of Legacy that's going on in Europe. I think they said they had something like 93 qualifiers over the year, with, on average, they said something about 50 players playing in them, which puts it at like almost 5,000 players competing over the course of the year for 103 slots. I think it awarded like 105 or something, like almost like they had an attendance rate that was through the roof. They had so many players who wanted to actually like pick up their stuff and came to Bologna. So
I heard it was just 2 Greeks didn't come, so pick it up, Greece.
It's like Callum calling out the
you
entire
out here.
country of Greece.
Yeah, that's it. To be fair, they're in the middle of some fires all over their country, so it's quite
Actually, didn't we get Sean, like Kai's friend from Greece?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He should have played.
Sean.
But he's American. I guess he's still eligible. Yeah, he should have played that. Okay. So, I just want to set the stage because the way, like, all of the volunteers who have been working towards this, I guess there's always, like, the mission, the vision, and I never really know which one is which, but the vision is that this is the Pro Tour for Legacy, basically. We are still, of course, not there yet. The first one was like a beta. This one was the first real one, which you can tell because I played in the first one, but I didn't qualify for this one.
None of us did. It's okay.
Oh, actually, true, right? We all played in the first one. We were the beta testers. Yeah, and this time on Saturday, when we held that tournament, Callum, actually, all three of us, we did commentary, right?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, Callum, you went the extra mile. You played in the Legacy side event. But whenever it was your turn to commentate, you literally scooped that match and jumped into the commentary booth. How often did that actually happen?
Only once, but there was a couple of times where I went to play someone and be like, right, if we don't finish this match in half an hour, I need to concede and go. So,
and then your opponent was like, let me think. Oh, Mulligan. Oh, let me pile shuffle again.
But I don't know. I was like super down after the teams. I was like really content. It was such a nice chill day, and then we went out. Every night was just like great food and drinks. And I was really content to be just hanging out all day Saturday, talking with friends, winding up Kaya's booth, and just like, seeing what people are playing and watching the ELM basically. But then after a few hours of watching people play, I was like, I want to do that. It looks really fun. So first of all, I think I forgot which rounds, how many we were commentating. So I was like, okay,
I think we did the second and the sixth, and then I did the finals with Kai. And the semifinals with Luke, I believe.
Yeah, because I think I got confused whether I was doing semifinals or not. Either way, I forgot about round 6 as well. I knew I needed to do round 2. So, whatever. I was happy to do it. So I went and played. And round 1, I got paired into Marcus, who was busy playing on camera at the ELM. So he forgot to not sign up. So I got to buy round 1.
So we're talking about the Legacy side event right now.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, then I had to concede round 3 to go and do the round 2 ELM commentary, which was fine. I spoke to the judges. They're like, yeah, we won't drop you, but go on. It's fine. And then I got to play the rest. So it was really fun to play. As always, really good vibes. And then, we do commentary round 6 as well. Really fun to do the commentary.
Yeah, dude, I love doing that. Also, like, I always feel like you're saving my ass because all of a sudden, like, when there's new stuff coming up, like some really deep stuff, you're like, oh, yeah, this guy on Twitter. I'm like, oh, good. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah,
because, like,
we got to see the black-red shadow aggro deck. That
one was amazing. That one was so close to actually making top 8. Let me find... Where is it? Red, black, scam, aggro. Andrei Mateos. I was like pretty sure he would make top 8, but I guess the tiebreakers didn't break his way or something. But that deck was something very fresh and like something I hadn't seen before. There's also like a lot more other great decks here outside of the top 8. But let's actually look at the top 8. Because in first place, we got the Mono Black Besiege deck by František Juda. And dude, I took many notes. Like, I wanted to be a proper commentator. I literally took so many notes on all the players. I also asked them the stupidest questions, like which animals they could beat in a fight. And if they were a vegetable, which vegetable they were. And then I mixed them up completely. Like, anyway. Like, so in the final interview, I kept asking František, like, how he would beat a panda bear. And, like, props to him. He wasn't weirded out. He was just, like, talking about how he would beat a panda bear. And then later I looked at my notes and actually said that he wanted to beat a goat, not a panda bear. But he would just play along with it. Like, okay. But yeah, he's playing the Mono Black Besiege deck, and I think, Callum, you talked about that, right? When we talked about that card, that you see the home for it in exactly this kind of deck.
Yeah. We kind of said the card has tons of potential, and we'll see it in a lot of places, but we thought that it would probably fade off slowly. But if it's the best anywhere, it's probably going to be this kind of Mono Black Helm deck. And I have to say, this deck is so well built, because I've played this deck a few times, and the problem always was drawing like 2 Helms or 2 Ley Lines or too many 4-drops of like not the right 4-drops and stuff like that. And then here, I never thought of this until seeing the deck list, obviously. It's just got 1 Helm, 1 Khan, 1 Shieldred, 1 Ill-Gotten Gains. So got these like all these clunky 4-drops who are just, sometimes Khan you don't want it against Delver, or the Shieldred you want it against Delver, but not against a deck that's trying to kill you with the Lions Like Diamond Wade. You want the Khan. And then you just draw the wrong side of your deck. But now, with the Beseechers, you can go and kill people. Or you can go and get a Leyline if you have the Helm already. So the deck is just leaner. It doesn't die to kind of Wasteland Days as much. And, you're still playing Doughty Voidwalkers, Orcish Bowmasters, a couple of opposition agents. So you've got a good mid-range plan as well. And you've got Urza Sagas as well. So this deck kind of like plays broken cards in Dark Ritual and Chrome Mox in a way, and then it attacks from multiple different angles. It can totally beat you with damage, it can beat you with, the combo, or it can like beseech for Khan and like bridge you and stuff. It has sideboard Chalice of the Voids as well, and it's gone for main deck Thought Seizers. That's saying what he thinks of Chalice of the Void in the meta at the moment.
Didn't he actually commented in one of those matches where it literally won on turn 1 basically with ill-gotten gains because it had that Leyline of the Void out?
Yeah, it was at turn 2. It was against Marcus on stream, and
that was game 3 against him, right? Oh,
it was game 3, and he opened with Leyline and played turn 2 ill-gotten gains.
That's disgusting.
Oh,
which, for anyone that doesn't understand the interaction, so ill-gotten gains is
it's 4 mana.
All players discard their hands, then each player puts 3 cards from his or her graveyard into his or her hand. When you have a Leyline of the Void in play, your opponent has no graveyard to return cards from, so it just makes them discard their whole hand.
So I was thinking about this. Why would you have that instead of just like going for ham to kill them? I mean, it's obvious, right? I mean, it's obvious to me now. Initially, I was wondering. It's just like 1 less mana than ham, and against a lot of decks, this will still win you the game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I like
so.
again, the Ill-Gotten Gains is like one of those spells you want to cast like ASAP, and it gets like super bad and like in mid or post long games, right?
Yeah. Nobody ever cast like value ill-gotten games except for Iggy Pop.
Yo,
guess,
dude,
yeah,
that was like
kind of
like Past and Flames before Past and Flames. It's not bad, and now we have Paradise Lost, so But you know what? I keep seeing like you have more and more one-offs because you get like a tutor effect. This deck is not overpowered because of Beseech the Mirror, I want to say, because like at this point almost all non-blue decks in Legacy do have access to like demonic tutor-ish cards, right? Like be Green Sun Zenith in green decks, or Crop Rotation, or Natural Order. Even like Painter decks have the Goblin Engineer, or like what I guess,
and Saga.
even.
Saga, or like white decks can go like what's it called, Recruiter of the Guard. So but like Beseech the Mirror is basically the black, finally a black Green Sun Zenith, if so to speak, right? And that's kind of like a beauty to Legacy decks in general, that like the blue decks don't really have to play those demonic tutor-ish cards because they have Brainstorm and Ponder, and like those cards,
they have to do like the manual hard work. They have to find the cards the fair way.
I mean, Brainstorm at this point is almost like triple demonic tutor, and you just put like 2 bad cards back. So
okay. Hashtag Alex Bertocchini or something. Like Brainstorm's triple demonic tutor.
Like we gotta tag him in one of those episodes, really.
Oh yeah,
but anyway, like I want to say that like people have been saying that this card is insane. Like Beseech Mirror is like, it's like crazy good, especially with like the Orcish Bowmasters, where you can simply sacrifice a token, just be done with it. But I'm saying that like, we've had tutors for a very, very long time, and I'm just happy that Black also has one. And tutors are also not as good as they used to be because of cards like Opposition Agent, right?
Yeah, I guess we don't really count Infernal Tutor, right? That one is like very specific when we talk about like tutors for Black.
Yeah, I mean that's the most demonic tutor card.
That's the closest one we have. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. Like you can actually play like a mid-range deck with tutor effects, which previously Black didn't really get to do.
Exactly. Like this deck almost looks like a vintage deck if with like a solid core, and then you have a lot of like utility one-offs. Looks pretty appealing to me.
But by the way, we actually like the tournament went really late. Like I could really tell, like Kai, during the finals you were like super tired at that point. Right?
Dude, we were like freaking. Dude, we were destroyed. Oh yeah.
Like the tournament concluded at I want to say like 11 p.m. or something, like really late, and we struggled to still find food. But we went to one of our favorite pizza places we go every time, right? And we were joined by Frontisac and Marco Male, I want to say, and some guy who was like quite the experience. I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name, and we won't go deeper into that. Okay, let's not go too deep into that. But shoutouts, he drove us there. He made sure we get food, so thank you so much. And Frontisac actually said, yeah, the deck is really good, but he misses playing blue decks so much, so he will never play the deck again that he just won the tournament with.
Imagine saying that after you won a tournament. The deck loses. I don't really want to play it for the future.
But the thing is, he also really likes Comet Stellar Pop. I think he even has it on his Twitter profile that's the coolest card ever. So I guess he needs to play some kind of chess guy deck then. And I mean, we've seen some Comets here and there, also on Magic Online now that it's there.
It's also in Jeskai Control in this top 8, by the way.
In Jeskai Control where is it? Oh, yes.
Thomas Vargas list.
Here we go. 5th to 8th place. How many copies? 1 copy? Yeah.
Just one.
So for a moment,
it
destroyed Magic Online whenever you rolled a 6. So it was like the hidden mode. But I think they've patched that now.
That's good. But Fred's like, we've played a few times online. He's been on like standstill decks, so he likes his control, despite playing Initiative last ELM. And,
what's his name on Magic Online?
I can't remember now, I'm afraid.
I thought you played him.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
You could just tell by the vibe that he got.
No, he told me it's him. This was like quite a while ago, but he told me it's him. We chatted for ages. But no, again, shout out. So he said he was like running around Prague, going to friends' houses to borrow all the cards to build this deck last minute with 0 testing, basically. So I think this is just testament to how well tuned into Legacy he is. He's got a brilliant Legacy mind. And again, I'm just really impressed with the deck building of, finding these one-offs and finding the problem with this deck before and the Beseech Shell. And yeah, he's even got like a Damnation sideboard. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like all of the sweet stuff that Beseech now enables, right?
Yeah, so I'm just really impressed. He's amazing.
Then in second place, we got Bruno Sequeira from Portugal playing Grixis Delver, and I think that's a pretty run-of-the-mill version of it, right? This is pretty much what you would expect. 1 Spell Pierce, counterbalance in the sideboard, they sometimes do that. Price of Progress, here we go. Yeah, that's certainly up to my test.
That's the most crazy card.
You can,
but
you can one-shot control players with this, right?
Yeah.
Take like.
Especially since you got Mystic Sanctuary, like end of turn Price of Progress, then next turn put it on top draw with Brainstorm.
I like Price of Progress like a lot. Now that we talked about the 4th Eolingers and now how impactful it is, like did control players wanna make land drops, right? Yeah, more than anything. So like Price of Progress like looks pretty lethal. Almost at any point of the game, I think. Except maybe turn 1. Oh, damn.
Then looking at the other decks, we got third/4th place, one of the biggest European Legacy legends, Angelo Cardei, playing his 4-color ring deck with 2 copies of Veil of Summer in the main deck. Dude, I hate that so much. I played against him a couple of times on Magic Online before the tournament, and those 2 Veils in the main deck, I hate it. But what can you do?
Just stop naming blue.
Yeah, I didn't even name blue. He literally, like, it also says, like, just prevent your spells from being countered. I didn't even need to name, like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good tech piece for anti-scam stuff, basically.
Oh, that's so insane.
Veil is very well positioned now, so expect a lot of them.
He had the most insane quarterfinals against Sebastian Bender, playing Great Cradle Control. I think their quarterfinals, I literally want to say it took 90 minutes. I'm pretty sure it took 1.5 hours.
They went to sudden death, right?
They went to sudden death, and yeah, you're laughing now, but usually like when you have like a 90-minute limit, you feel like, it's not going to go to sudden death. Yeah, they did.
Damn it.
Yeah. It was long.
What can you do? They had some also, like, I loved, by the way, that this deck is playing 1 Quirion Ranger again. There's just like so much utility in those Cradle Control decks for Quirion Ranger, and I always felt like if there's one card... Oh, see, here we go. I was going to say, if there's one card I want to add to the main deck, this is literally what Sebastian did. He goes to 61 cards. Here we go. 1 Quirion Ranger.
Nice.
Just noticed that.
Nice.
Then we got Dario Moreno, Blue-Black Scam in the top 8. 3 copies of Sauron's Ransom. I think 3 is a little bit
very cool.
More uncommon.
I love Sauron's Ransom. I still think it's underplayed and underutilized. It's really good. I gotta say, I watched Dario play a lot, and I was just so impressed by how incredibly tight he plays. I was really blown away, and every time I saw him playing, I was like, I'm just going to go and watch. So, yeah, he just did everything right, and that's exactly what you don't want to do when you play against these like Wasteland Daze decks. You just like, please just make a little mistake. He is incredibly scary to face, I think. So
I wonder how many people he actually got with Stifle. There's 2 copies of Stifle in there.
Yeah, probably everyone. Like, I would not be on my radar at all.
Like it's especially good in a deck like this where you have an additional synergy, right? Because like you can probably stifle your griefs, like the evoke for example, things like that. Yeah, okay. Like I think like stifle is, but also like from looking back at the day when you had those dreadnought decks, right? Like you could use stifle as a wasteland stifle kind of thing, but you can also use it proactively to push your threats a little bit, or like one of my probably like all time favorites is like Geist of Sandtraft, where you get a token, and at end of turn, it triggers, and you stifle that, and you keep that angel forever. It's so good.
Oh, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, you know what you can also do? You can stifle the storm on Mind's Desire.
Yeah, you could do that, but
well, you would.
Sure.
Very
Yeah,
much
if you're a
loving it.
showstopper, then yeah.
One card in the sideboard that was very impressive while watching the games was Palantir of Orthanc, another new card from Lord of the Rings. It's kind of like a little bit of better of like one-sided Howling Mine. It's 3 mana, then a lot of words. It's a legendary artifact. It's essentially scry 2 and then draw a card at the end of your turn. It does some other stuff where it gives your opponent the choice to mill cards, and it gets counters every turn, and they take damage based on the CMC of the cards milled. But that kills them so fast that they just have to give you the card pretty fast.
A lot of times when I play against the deck, it's like I usually take the damage once, maximum twice, because beyond that, it's just like, especially if there's the scry involved, you really can't take the damage.
But like, this deck is playing like Murktides and Trolls and Force of Wills and Lorien Revealed. It's got a very high CMC but low curve in the deck. So,
in a way, it's kind of like the successor to Card of Cunning, but it can't be Pyroblasted. And that's just like so good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Then we already talked about Sebastian in 5th place. 6th place, we got Bartosz Krida playing Grixis Delver. Well, one Unholy Heat. Other than that, Dark Blast on the sideboard. Okay, I guess we can do that.
Yeah, it's cool.
1 minor.
This is another MCGO killer. This is I Am Venom. Anyone that plays Magical 9 will run into him quite a lot there.
Oh, minor misstep. I was like, oh wait, what is this minor? No.
Mental
misstep. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Congrats. And
then we got 2 more Cheskai control decks, Thomas Varga and Johan Stur. And Johan Stur is actually playing 2 copies of Minor Misstep in the main deck. Yeah, I guess we talked about how that deck can actually do that. He's also playing a copy of Days Undoing. And 4 Narset, as you would expect, I guess.
I'm amazed these 2 top-8'd. Huge testament to their skill. I just look at these decks and I don't understand how. I think the 4-color control soupy mid-range piles are incredibly strong, as I said, but Jeskai control, they're just really good, these players.
Yeah. I guess it's I mean, he's got 2 copies of Triumph of St. Catherine. I want to see that card in action so badly because everybody's always talking about it, and I don't think I've ever played against that card ever, like anywhere.
I've played with it a bit and it was okay.
It was only okay?
Yeah, I'm pretty low on the card.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Both of them have 2 Theurlingas, as you would expect, though. So that is a big shot in the arm of power for the deck.
By the way, I see one thing that can actually give them a little bit of an edge against the 4-color control decks, and also something that just completely destroyed me when I played against deck.
Both have main deck Blood Moons.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, they do? See, that's... Oh, yeah, I guess that's the same... I was getting at the Ruination.
Oh, that's really nice.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I wonder if these.
Yeah, I guess like if you play so many basics.
Yeah, they do work together. It's still non-basic.
I think you gotta take your advantage just being like a prismatic V-Star deck. You have to, right?
Sorry, I meant where these players work together.
Oh,
I see.
Because
they both have 1 main deck Blood Moon. They both have 1 sideboard Ruination, but they have some differences as well.
Yeah, maybe they don't like each other. That's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was it for the European Legacy Masters. Another great event. So many players looking to qualify actually coming here. And yeah, I'm definitely going to try to qualify for the next one next year and see how big we can make that one. Because you can already tell, right? There's a lot of ambition to make this even greater every single time. And
that was my takeaway. Like while watching, I was like, "Damn it, I really want to play." It's so cool to be playing great players. It's so amazing to get the opportunity to play against such a great field of players. So I'm going to try harder to qualify for next year, definitely.
Yeah, I got to say, I didn't really try too hard, right? I mean, I'm not saying that I could have if I tried. No. But I noticed that there was a lot of effort left on the table, and I could have tried harder. And that's hopefully like the whole idea that people get out of the ELM, right? This is where you can earn your name. This is where you make a name for yourself. And this is, in the long run, I mean, of course, it's laughable if I say, the Legacy Pro Tour. I mean, we're very far from that, but that's really what we're building towards. And just to give you an idea, we almost, I say we, like I'm tangential related to that whole operation, like very minor thing. But we doubled the prices compared to last year, almost doubled the prices. So you see that there's ambition, and like it's not about the prices, but you see that everything keeps growing and keeps getting bigger, and people talk about it more, and the coverage gets more professional, even though like we had us clowns on it. But overall, I love where this whole project is going, and I'm so excited to see what's going to happen next year.
Same.
Awesome. So, guys, there's basically a lot more legacy. I think we'll just like look at that during one of our next episodes, because there's like the legacy super qualifier. By the way, shout outs to Mike Mapson of the Depth podcast, qualifying for, what does it actually qualify for? I guess the Pro Tour?
I think so.
He went into the finals against Kahira Works, and both of them qualified. There's actually a fun story I read on Twitter. His dog like slept on his laptop card, and somehow that destroyed it. I guess it overheated or something. So between rounds, he literally had to pack up his laptop, go to a different place, like his friend's place, and continue playing the tournament.
Oh, dude, that's dedication.
That's cool.
Holy smokes.
Look, if my dog stopped me qualifying for the Pro Tour, you just can't be angry at your dog.
It would not be my dog anymore.
Whoa,
Wait.
That's the Berlin answer to this. So yeah, I guess, guys, we're gonna call it a day. So once again, everybody, check us out on everyday-eternal.com. The website is gonna go live, I want to say somewhere in the next 1 or 2 weeks. It's not gonna be live right now, but you will find us on X. God, this is so bad. Seriously, Elon, can you go? But yeah, we're gonna stay with Twitter. And yeah, we'll let you know once it's live, and you will find the new episodes there. All of your podcasting platforms, they will most likely automatically update. Give it like a day or two. I don't know at which frequencies they double check their sources for the RSS feed, and then it's gonna work. And if it's not gonna work, if you somehow find out on Instagram, X, wherever the Pope sends you a message that a new episode is out, but it doesn't show up in your podcasting app, literally please send us a message on the new website that's gonna be out by then, and just let us know which platform you're using, and then we'll get that one fixed for you. Is that it for today?
Think so.
What are you guys up to for the rest of the evening?
I'm going to go and play a deck I've just seen on Twitter from Marco Montani, which is Up the Beanstalk Delver. It looks so good. Mandrills is rug with mandrills and Murktides. It looks terrifyingly good.
Oh, you also draw on the creatures, right? I never really thought about that.
Oh, nice. Yes, like you turn all your creatures into like little mini Uros then.
Yeah, it's terrifying. It looks really good. So
if there's one thing more terrifying than Murktide with a cantrip, it is very much
disgusting.
so.
Yeah. He just said, like, imagine going Mandrills, draw a card, Mandrills, draw a card, force thing, draw a card.
Yeah. That sounds like our new Overlord. That's the ruck deck we don't want to see in the format.
Yeah. Join us in 2 weeks when we're talking about Beanstalk Delvers, the new kings.
Yeah, I can't wait for Beanstalk Doomsday, right? Street Wraith, cast Street Wraith, get into a Doomsday pile. That's how we do
easy.
it.
Oh, yeah.
So, everybody, thank you so much. If you want to support Everyday Eternal, please consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or supporting us on Patreon. And with that, by the way, have you checked out our new intro and outro? I'm so in love with that.
Yeah, it's new.
Yep, I totally have listened to it. Yep.
It was on the last episode, to be fair. So, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Everybody, see you again next time. And bye-bye.
See ya.
Ladies, everyone.